gambling is a social evil, but the enforcement of it is sort of selectively picked and chosen.
The United States gave a commitment which has been interpreted authoritatively on 3 distinct occasions as covering remote gambling. The United States contested that before the WTO. It lost before a panel. It lost before the appellate body, which is, if you want, the World Trade Court, and it lost again before a compliance panel. There is simply no question in anybody's mind that the ban on remote gambling coming from other members of the WTO is in violation of United States international legal obligations.
The basic issue for me is personal freedom, the right to do what I want in the privacy of my own home. As part of the wonderful core curriculum at Columbia University, I was compelled to read John Locke and John Stuart Mill. They were the first to put forward the idea that except where one is doing direct harm to others, the government should not direct the activities of the people. Madison and Jefferson enshrined this idea in our country's founding documents. It's my opinion that Congress strayed significantly from these founding principles in passing the Unlawful Internet Gaming Enforcement Act in the late and closing hours of the legislative session in 2006. Ronald Reagan said, "I believe in a government that protects us from each other. I don't believe in a government that protects us from ourselves." And I believe that the UIGEA is in violation of Mr. Reagan's words.
I would be interested in the position of the Justice Department if, for example, say China, hypothetically, were to prosecute an American citizen and put them in prison in violation of an international legal obligation owed to the United States, and simply they would say to the United States that under our internal Chinese law, this individual has no defense, despite the fact that we recognize that we are violating the international obligation to you, and then China moved to withdraw the commitment they had given to the United States. What would be the position of the Justice Department in such a situation? With the little rider that China would add, "And we've learned this trick from you."
What do you think, U.S. Attorney?
Well, I think it'd be unwise, Mr. Chairman, for me to try and answer a hypothetical situation that does not exist. I will say that we are currently in the district for which I am U.S. Attorney prosecuting Bet on Sports, that there have been motions made suggesting that our prosecution violates the World Trade Organization treaties. And obviously this is currently being litigated, so I can only talk about the positions we've taken on the public record, and those are essentially 2. The first is that this Congress, in enacting the statutes necessary to carry out those treaties, said in the law that nothing in those treaties would overturn existing laws of the United States, and the Wire Act was already the law when those treaties were executed. And the second position that we have taken, which really doesn't go to this country-to-country discussion, is that the defendants as private citizens don't have a right to challenge under the treaty.
Are you mildly satisfied, Professor Wiley?
Ms. Hanaway has answered honorably, and that indeed is the position taken. I think it's a very unfortunate position for the rule of law and for the reputation of the United States in the world order, and it's creating a highly dangerous precedent for our own citizens trading in other countries.
Ms. Hanaway, why did you not mention horse racing in your list of prosecutions in Internet gambling?
Well, I was highlighting, Mr. Chairman, some of the more notable prosecutions that are currently going on. There was no particular reason not to mention horse racing.
Well, it has been noted that they are frequently excluded from prosecution, generally, not in your area. You didn't know that?
I had not heard you note that. I've heard you note it now. I'm not sure if there's a question in your notation.
Oh, there is.
I'm sure of it.